Hello, everybody there out in internet land, and welcome to Tavern Talk. My name is Jalen. I'll be playing as Orion.
My name is Brett. I'll be playing as Zavi Advani.
I'm Abby. I play as Kaya Visvagen.
And I'm Chris. I am your game master or GM.
And for this week in Tavern Talk, we're going to be discussing what our adventures were exploring the crumbling city of Sayota, as they ventured through the city and find some strange things as they encountered destroyed statues, weird things happening in the streets, mass exodus of the locals, and some very particular people in the city, especially a little bit dehydrated people, as you may notice through our campaign. What does this mean for our characters? How will Zavi handle particularly, does he want to steal? Does he not want to steal? Do we see Kaya becoming a new desert star within this land of desert and sand? Or how does Orion feel as he explores his own homeland to where he feels the true fruits of the past? Explore this and let's discuss on Tavern Talk. I suppose I should start. As right now, Orion is right now feeling particularly bewildered, considering he's starting to notice a city that is falling to ruin, especially in his own homeland, where he sees the streets and the foundation land, buildings that shouldn't appear shifting, dried up riverbanks. People are leaving, and you don't hear the sound of townsfolk and children playing in the streets. To this, Orion is concerned, especially with the fact that what they learned from Hana Ogawa, that the guards are split, that they have sent people out there to explore the land, and unfortunately they've gone mysteriously missing. This only puts his mind on rest, considering there are good people in this city that are trying to help them and his friends, especially with not knowing their precarious situation. But nonetheless, he's glad he's with his friends, and he's glad that he's trying to do something about it as he deals with his own vices and virtues.
I have a question for you. So, as we talked before the campaign about building your character, you guys were all part of that circus, and it was kind of figured that the circus traveled up on the other continental system, on Albany and Toronto, not very crossing the ocean very often. I would wager, I guess, because you've been part of the circus for your entire life, that you've never been over here before. Is it something that Orion wanted to come to where the birthplace and the origins of orcs are? Is it always been something he wanted to do?
It is indeed what he always wanted to do. Life in the road is great, but when you want to find out about your origin, that where your people come from, the homeland, when you know that kind of piece of history, it kind of cements where you feel within the world. And not only does that help you in the future, it helps to where you find out your identity in the present. At that moment, he knows that he's discovering what his people came from and what their origins are, and what does it mean to him in the present, and how is he applying that to his decisions that are now, and how will this later down the line affect his future. It's where with the circus he was exploring the world and he was seeing sites from each city and land, but he never got to fully explore each one since they were only there for maybe a couple of days or two. And he's heard all these stories from his own father about things that his people did, what their traditions were, how they fought, what their culture was, and why didn't they truly get involved with what happened when the elves came into play in their home continent of Soriko, which we may get to find out later this week.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Did coming to the city live up to your expectations that you had about it? Like, did it live up to Orion's expectations?
I would say it's where it did live up to the part where Orion does respect the elven race, but he is right now concerned. The structure of the city isn't what he thought it would be. It seems like this city wasn't meant to be built on this land, and not in a way of disrespect, but it's a crumbling city. The foundation's not there. There's only one riverbank, and it seems to be the only necessary supply. There's where people are not actually in the streets enjoying their daily lives. It's where people are now leaving it. It's becoming a ghost town to where he wants to see places like this thrive. But unfortunately, he's starting to see people are getting desperate for food, dehydration, because considering what he saw in the shopkeep, it just kind of concerned him that this person is in that kind of bad condition, especially since now he learned of what happened with the guards. Does that mean that there's something targeting innocent people? He can understand the point of battle, but once it involves innocent people, that's where it starts to draw the line for him.
Okay. That's a really interesting insight into Orion. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out for him. Really curious. Now, what about Zavi? How's Zavi doing in this town?
He's still looking to get to where the destination he feels like he needs to get to. This is a stop on his path of finding out who is trying to frame it. And if having to help the city is gonna be something that is gonna get him to where he needs to be, he's going to do it. That's why when coming into the city, yes, there is this vandalization of monuments and all these different things within the city. But his main concern is finding out what is stopping the water from coming here. That is his primary concern. Now, in the first night, of course, there was no way that they were going to make it into the desert already. So he did what he had to. Looked around. He's used to, things that maybe they go a little bit too far sometimes, but, he's used to what can be considered vandalization. So he was looking around, watching over it, just seeing if he saw anything happening, any commonalities, but his overall goal, of course, is just to try and follow that figure, or find out who that figure was. And he's going to do what he needs to, and try not to get arrested on the...
That's probably number one, is don't get arrested.
I mean, yeah.
It's only what? You guys ended on the morning of the second day in town. You've got a 4-day journey between where we started in Aldenair to Scioto, so you're 5 days ahead of whatever, and quite frankly, no one knows. It's maybe not exactly known where ships went. However, I think you guys can think in your heads that the 2 ships that left that day left at the same time, and the logs tell where they're going. So, if people are going to follow you guys, they know to either come to Scioto or Water's Edge. So keeping low profile probably isn't the worst idea. And you guys could luck out, and maybe they went to Water's Edge instead. Who knows? Well, I know, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Dun dun dun.
Like I would say anything. But yeah, I mean, you guys are doing a decent job of keeping yourselves out of trouble. However, I will say you guys have been introducing yourselves wholeheartedly to every single person you come across. But
I mean, the only ones we've really introduced ourselves to that I could think of is really just some figureheads of the city. Like,
true. Yeah,
no
I mean, it
one
was-
that shouldn't be trusted in some sort of sense. Where someone is coming looking for us, they better have a good reason. Otherwise, we look like the helpful folks, and if you're coming for us, then why? What's going on?
I will say this: there are 3 people that so far only know who that we came here. This would be Jillian, the quartermaster that liked to ask a lot of questions, which we artfully dodged. Unfortunately, our simian friends seem to have picked up an interest. I don't know why.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go visit her again.
Mm.
Ooh.
Alicia, Alicia, the innkeeper who recorded our names when we booked our hotels, but she seemed generally nice. And Hannah Ogawa, the head constable.
Yeah, I don't even think that the portmaster.
Nope,
Got our
he
name.
didn't.
The harbor
He-
master.
He
Or
just
Harley
said he,
So he knew when we came back.
Yeah, he does have your
That
guys'
makes
name because your tickets had to be attached to something.
Yeah.
So he does have them on hold for you if you do fix the water issue, or if you decide to just pay. Which,
Bro, I don't.
point of order, I'm going to admit this to you guys and to you guys. Anyone watching who's a fan of Pathfinder probably knows that I messed up. But tickets from Sayota to Book Handle, in the player core, there are the rules about how much things cost, and hiring a boat gives you, I think it's like 4 copper per, or it's not as expensive as I made it out to be. Let's just put it that way. It's
No, he did the math. It turned out to be like 5 or 4 gold a person, and he quoted us 12.
yeah, it's 6 copper per 5 miles, and so I looked at the map and tracked it. And like, yeah, I should only be like, as you said, probably be like 4, maybe 5 gold per person. So
no. It makes sense. It's inflation. There's inflation. There's people leaving the city.
yes,
There you go. Game
I
economy.
planned that. I planned that. Yes, I didn't
See,
mess up.
even
I
works
recant
into
that.
this game world, people. It's a concept no one can escape. Money.
But on the flip side, I don't think you all have 4 or 5 gold each, to pull together anyway. So it's fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna start making sure that I'm not messing up that bad for the future. Anyway, I think I may have interrupted you, Brent. Is there anything more that Zavi would be going through at the moment?
No, the interaction with the quartermaster though was interesting for him, but it's not anything crazy. I mean, you would think with stuff that he did, with him being the main act, he would be that little cocky, slightly flirty, kind of character that you know, just gain trust easily that way too.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kaya, how does she feel right now?
Listen, nothing is gonna bring Kaya down. She is nothing but a ball of positivity and sunshine.
So,
This is
a town of people that are having some hard times is just she's still like, let's party.
it's sad for them, but she views that there is always hope to be found, and that music is meant to inspire, and that is what she's going to do.
Okay, yeah.
And
Beginning.
I'm here to help. I will also say the reason I have wholeheartedly been telling people our names is because if word gets to them and we have done nothing but nice things for them, they're going to be like, that doesn't sound like the people we know.
Ah, that's a good point. Okay, all right. That's let me write some GM notes down. Okay, all right. Yeah, and she was able to do what thing she loved. She got to perform here, and even made some money out of it. And so that's great. That's what it's all about. Um, and you guys can all make use of that actually. Just for future reference in terms of mechanics of the game, uh, there are multiple ways you guys can make money. I know, for example, Orion has training in crafting. You can craft simple items and sell them, and make money on that. Like small trinkets or small tools. I think you can do that at the moment. I think as you progress in levels, you get to be more specialized in your crafting abilities. But at the moment, you can do basic things. But you guys can both also, as long as you're trained in performance, can make use of your circus acts the same way that Kaya did, and earn some money as well. Each of you can earn up to like 3 silver pieces a night. Um, so I mean that's something. If you guys want to look into that, I'll give you that for free. Um,
Salvi's gonna have to go back to his roots where he started from with everything, not having these high flying extra things to make it look even more daring.
okay, yeah, that'd be. If you're in a big city with tons of places, like in like the denser parts of town, with multi-story buildings, and like it could be like high rises and stuff. Is it like a modern metropolis? Um, but I mean, there's plenty of places to do some cool acrobatics on, find a crowd. Maybe you guys will get some decent crowds if you fix the water. Maybe. All right. Anything else for Kaya?
Nothing. No.
Okay. I know that our last session was more like busy work than crazy high adventuring, but you guys were exploring a new town, a big town that I don't think many. Orion, we know you haven't been here before. Um, Kaya, I don't know if she's been specifically in this city before. I think Zaga, I think the only one who potentially might have been at one time, but I don't think you've ever mentioned being here before. When we
No, he's never
explored
been
this.
here.
Yeah, this is all new for all three of you. Um, and so yeah, this the whole session was a lot of just putting that stuff together and getting some lore. Parts of the lore you guys learned are common knowledge among people of this world, but not everyone's going to know the specifics of what happened here before elves came to this continent. So you guys are starting to uncover that stuff, and for viewers, this is good for you guys too. You guys get to see a little bit of an insight into the world that we've all crafted together. Um, so I am excited to see how this plays out um, for our next session. Hopefully, I know you guys are itching for some like hardcore adventure, maybe some fights. So I think we might be able to get into something like that. But I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Any other thoughts?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I've got nothing else to add for you guys or for viewers.
I will say there are some things coming up, depending on when this video gets put out. There are some new developments with Pathfinder that we can't wait to get our hands on and be able to discuss in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I know I do. I'm pretty sure Chris does, as well as I'm sure Jay and Abby would as well. But Player Core 2, which at this point in time has just released, and then what is it? Tomb of Woes, I believe, is going to be coming out. Tome of. Oh, I was just looking at it before too.
I know that.
See, this is why you do your research, kids.
I know we have War of Immortals coming out, which introduces 2 new classes: the Martial Exemplar and the Mysterious Magic User, the Alien. I know those.
I don't know what I was looking at. I think I was looking at an old book or something. Maybe, who knows? Howl of the Wild was the other one I was thinking.
Howl of the Wild,
That's not
that one
coming out.
Yeah, that's released. The Pocket Edition will be coming in a few, I think this month or next month. And you guys have met some ancestries from that book. You met an Athamaru, that was the harbor master. And there are others in this town. I can tell you guys that for sure. So cool stuff there, and that's a good point. Alright, well, Jay, I think we have discussed all we need to discuss. You want to sign us off?
Oh, of course. You know I love hearing the sound of my own voice over this thing.
I love hearing your voice.
All right, so hopefully you do too as well, audience. And remember, like, comment, and subscribe for Tavern Talk. And check out the Tales of Inglaria and join us on our adventures. Take care and have a nice time. And
All right,
join us
see you
next
guys.
week for Tavern Talk.